So while the good news is happening on the track, let's go back into the garage. Shannon, who you caught up to?
Well, Alan, the jet dryers are on the track. The sun is starting to come out, and look who we found. Marcos Ambrose, always a smile on your face. Talk about this season so far. How do you feel about the effort that you guys have put forth in this nationwide series?
I didn't hear a word you said.
We're telling jokes out here right now under the rain delay, so.
You know, I'm happy to be here in NASCAR. I mean, the sun's coming out, the jet dryers are out. We want to get this racing today. We don't want to come back on Monday and run. You know, we've had a really tough start to the season with weather delays and so forth. But, you know, I'm out of jokes. I've been training with the Air Force on the flying simulator on the computer. I've crashed enough planes and I've watched enough TV. I want to get this racing and get going.
Now, I got to ask you, I have this magazine here. It's an Australian magazine called Auto Action, and you were voted #1 driver in Australia ahead of some of the open wheel drivers. What does that say about not only your popularity over there, but what you're doing for NASCAR over in Australia?
Well, it means my phone bill was very expensive because it was a phone-in vote. So, you know, I guess in all seriousness, it shows what I'm doing over here is spreading the word of NASCAR a little bit. If I can play my part to help, you know, show the Australian fan of motorsport or anyone that's interested down in the Southern Hemisphere how good NASCAR really is, if I can help NASCAR, then at least I'm playing my part in this sport. You know, it's a great sport. It really is. It's a lot of fun. It's a real thrill to be here, and you know, we're just kicking back. Even though the rain isn't the best for us, you know, we're still here at Bristol. It's a pretty cool place.
Now, Marcos, the Nationwide Series is a launch pad for young drivers, and of course you're going to be making a Cup start this year. How are those efforts coming? Have you started testing yet to get ready for that start?
Well, we've got some races in the 21 with Little Debbie Racing, which we're really excited about. The first race is at Infineon in June. And then we've got another entry, the 47 car from JTG Racing, which we're already building cars for. We've got 2 cars partly done. We plan to go testing in 3 weeks with that. I haven't driven a COT yet on an oval, so I'm really looking forward to those tests. Just excited to get in that Little Debbie machine and get running. But you know, today it's all about Kingsford and the Nationwide Series, and we've got so many good races coming up for us on the 59 team that, you know, my focus is really on that. And when the Cup stuff, you know, comes to me, I'll try and make the most of it. But right now it seems like it's too far away to really worry about. But we're excited. 2008 is going to be a big year for me. I've got every chance to break out in this sport and do something special, and I just hope that I'm good enough to do that.
Well, good luck to you. And Alan, as we throw it back up to you guys, I was talking to Marcos, and he said, you know, he's run races in the rain before, so he offered to get out there.
Yeah, one of those road course guys. Put the groove tires on, let them go racing, right? These guys have enough trouble not crashing at Bristol when it's perfectly dry. I don't think we want to put them out there in the rain. Rusty is sophomore. Marcus has talked about earlier in the weekend with us about how, okay, last year was about getting familiar with NASCAR racing. Now this year, he needs results. What kind of pressure does a guy put on himself in his sophomore season?
Well, the sophomores seem to always struggle for some reason, but they've had a year under their belt. They think they're brighter at it. They probably are. But, you know, he just needs to learn. But the tough thing going on right now, there's so many changes. Mm-hmm. You know, the nationwide cars had 80 more horsepower last year. Now they have 80 less horsepower. It seems like the rules in NASCAR are always moving a little bit where you constantly got to readjust. Hopefully now Marcus is stable enough on the racetrack that he knows how to get around most of these tracks. He feels comfortable when he goes back. It's not something really new to him anymore. And I think he'll have better results. I really do. But he's got to stay up with the technology. Got to stay talking to other drivers and other team members to understand what's going on out there.
Yeah, I know. As I talk to Marcos, or even I talk to Kelly Byers quite a bit, you know, these guys, what they're trying to do over at Tag and Schecter's Racing is make sure they keep their team together and keep this program going forward. Marcos is a tremendous racer. He's going to do really well in this series, and when he moves on. Same thing with Kelly Byers, another young man who we keep talking about a little bit more each week. But the big program is building that program, making sure there's consistency there year after year, so these guys have a solid platform to race on. That's the toughest thing.
When you're a young fellow or a new driver kind of to the series like Marcus is, you just can't ask enough questions. You got to be talking to everybody all the time. I mean, I tell people, I don't want to be the guy standing out on that island all by myself and me having to figure everything out. Go talk to people. They'll help you. I mean, some of them will. Some will lie to you.
You better make sure you're talking to the right people.
But you got to stay talking, though, Brad. I mean, you got to get in there. You just can't do it yourself.
I always keep thinking when I think about particular guys, different images flash to mind. And I keep thinking when I think about Marcos Ambrose, what might have been different when we think about his sophomore year, his freshman year. Montreal, that close to winning that race. What might have been different if he'd managed to get that win, and how things might all be different for him. But that's kind of the breaks of the game, you know. It's a game of small differences.
Well, he went there last year. He'll probably go back in this year and get another shot at it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, he knows how to do it. He knew what he did wrong, and he'll be better this time probably.